My name is Diane Hennacy. I'm a trained neuroscientist and neuropsychiatrist from Johns Hopkins, who is former faculty at Harvard. My research on autistic savants who have psychic abilities was featured on the telepathy tapes.
How do you define reality?
Well, the real reality is not the reality that most of us think. The reality that we tune into is really that which is informed by our senses: sight, hearing, smell, touch, which all locks us into the present, the here and now. But we know from physics that the past, present, and future all coexist. And what these autistic savants are showing us is that we can access what's called non-local information. We can access other points in space-time. It's just that we do it through a different sense. It's not through those primary senses. It's through a sense that I call the mind sense. And the mind sense is one that has been described by Eastern traditions, Tibet, Buddhism, for example, or Hinduism.
How do people get more in touch with reality?
There are different practices that people do to try to quiet what we call in neuroscience the default mode network. And that's that sort of voice, that inner voice that we have that's telling us things, okay? And people in Hinduism and Buddhism call it the monkey mind. So, most of us are constantly repeating the same kinds of thoughts over and over again. And so if you quiet that mind, which you can do through practices such as meditation, then you can access the more non-local information. You're then quieting that, and the other parts of the brain take over. Similarly, if you do things like sensory deprivation, go into a flotation tank, and stop paying so much attention to your sensory input, you can also be getting more information from this sort of non-local consciousness. One of the things about people is that there's some people that need what we call solvent and other people need what we call glue. And what I mean by that is that some people, the people who need solvent are the people who already have access to this other reality, but they're not grounded enough. And so what they need is something that enables them to really integrate it so that they're able to be embodied in this world and be functional. With other people, they need solvent. They're so locked into this tunnel vision that is informed by the senses and keeps them locked into the here and the now, and then the kinds of, sort of like the wheel and the wheel and the rodent's cage, where they're just going around and around and around, with the same thoughts, and they're just locked into that, and they're missing everything else. And so those are the people who oftentimes are really helped by psychedelics because it blasts them out of that tunnel vision into realizing that there's really a greater reality out there.